Path to Highway, The Story of the Boston Post Road by Gail Gibbons, published by Thomas Y. Crowell of New York. Although we think of the Boston Post Road as one road, it has always been, in fact, three separate roads. The roads connect New York City and Boston, Massachusetts. At the end of this reading, we will show you a map of the three different roads that make up the Post Road. About 500 years ago, snap, a branch breaks. Indians make their way through the forest, following a narrow path. They walk the same trails their Indian ancestors had walked. Over hundreds of years, moccasined feet had worn smooth paths between villages and hunting grounds. Clomp, clomp, clomp. It is 1640. The paths are now trod by the heavy boots of colonists, people new to the land. The colonists used the Indian paths to travel between their separate settlements. The paths become more deeply worn. Clip-clop, clip-clop. The new sound heard on the forest paths: horses. The horses had been brought from England for the growing colonies. Men on foot, riders on horseback, many use the narrow Indian paths now. The paths become wider. The year is 1673. A lone horseman gallops along the path. The rider is on an important mission for his governor. He is the first person to carry a mail, the mail called the post in this country. He is the post rider. He hurries along the northern trail from New York City to Boston. At times, the path is hard to follow, and he must hack his way through wilderness. He has instructions to watch for river crossings and resting spots for other post riders who will later use the trail. It takes the post rider 14 days to reach Boston. He then returns to New York City with the mail from Boston in his saddlebags. The entire journey takes 4 weeks. Clip-clop, 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 clip-clop. It's 1704. A brave woman, Sarah Knight, is traveling from Boston to New York City on the Southern Trail. She travels with a post rider as her guide. It is a long, rough journey. When she arrives back at Boston, she scratches into a pane of glass with her ring. Now I've returned to Sarah Knight's. Through many toils and many frights, over great rocks and many stones, God has preserved from fractured bones. By the 1700s, the colonial settlements have grown into small villages. Now carts and wagons move along the paths with their heavy loads. The paths have become roads. Chink, chink, chink. The post roads are becoming known. Now it's 1753, and Benjamin Franklin, newly appointed deputy postmaster for the colonies, is requiring that postage be paid for every mile the mail must be carried. Milestones, to mark the miles, are driven into the ground. The roads are much wider now. Something new is seen on the road: stagecoaches. In 1772, the first stagecoach in service makes the trip between Boston and New York City in just 1 week. Although the passengers ride inside a coach, the journey is still a hard one, bumpy and tiring. Now it is 1775. The Revolutionary War begins. The American colonists fight for their independence from England. The post roads must be used for maneuvering soldiers and equipment to places of battle. All stagecoach service stops. The mail can't go through. 1785. The war has been over for a few years. Travelers are on the road again. The post roads are important links between the states of the new American nation. Sections of the roadbed are strengthened. They are roadbeds made with logs, corduroy roads, or with planks. The post road keeps changing. Bridges are built to replace the old ferry crossings. Farmers and tradesmen add gravel and stone to the sections of the roadbed that they own. They install toll gates, wooden pikes that block the road. When the traveler pays the toll at the toll gate, the gatekeeper turns the pike to let him through. He continues his journey on the Turnpike. Whoa, the roads are busier than ever now. Inns have been built along the way as stopping places for weary travelers. There is comfort at the inn. You can get a hot meal, a bath, and a bed for the night. One inn guest, Mr. Shenstone, wrote, "Where'er he has traveled life's dull round, where'er his stages may have been found, may sigh to think that he has found his warmest welcome at the inn." Refreshed, the travelers are ready for whatever the next leg of their journey may bring. Chug, chug, chug. A train, an iron horse, rounds the bend. It is 1850. A train now connects Boston and New York City, and passengers can make the trip faster than ever before. Parts of the southern road have been taken over for the train's track bed. Horses and wagons now travel alongside the train. The road has moved over. The train carries a lot of passengers and goods that used to go by road. The road is quiet, but not for long. Honk, toot. It's 1920 and the road is busy again. The automobile is here. The southern route is now the most frequently traveled of the old post roads. The roadway is smooth. Sections are paved with concrete to bear the heavy weight of cars and trucks. Stores and businesses line the roadside. Vroom! Today, the Boston Post Road is crowded with cars, trucks, and buses. In some places, the road winds through countryside, and in other places, it cuts through towns and cities. There are more stores, more businesses, motels, service stations, fast food shops, billboards, and flashing lights. Today, it takes less than a day to travel between New York City and Boston. The narrow Indian Path has become a modern 4-lane highway. In the years to come, the Boston Post Road will no doubt change again.